Hi there. Today we're gonna do the arch. You see it's missing, and we're gonna build a new one, this one. I have a spare part, and my job is to fit there, and it's gonna stay there. Before I start anything, I have to tell that this corner was rotten, and this corner was rotten. So in your workshop, lads, if you want to change the arch, make sure that you finish everything from the corners when the arch is living. There is few rusty bits inside, but that's not important. Even when I put the arch on the car, I can fix it. Why I'm doing this first and everything else later? Because if I cut too much, then I'm going to lose the strength and the shape of the car, and will be way harder to finish what I start. This arch is zinc plated, so before I start to weld, I have to grind and clean the surfaces, because later I cannot approach. This inner surface has to be grained because it's touching this inner arch. On this car, inner arch, this is inner arch, was also rotten, so I cut it off and I placed a new arch. There is two ways how to change this inner arch. One is you can make it using shrinker stretcher, or you can use some old but not rusty outer arch and readapt it onto this place where it is. The main goal is do this before you put this, to be perfect match. So when you place your spare part on the place, you need to have at least, I don't know, 80% or 90% surface which is touching each other. It's not good when you have problem later that you have to twist this to come closer. This car is constructed on the way that, observing the other side, I conclude that this up to here and this up to there is touching, and the upper arch is twisted inside. I decide to not do that like that, because if I force this inner edge inside, I can use the shape of the arch from outside, which is not good, and I have to cut again and weld. So I decide to drill few holes here and few holes here, so I can just attach. Then I will cut all this around, perfectly fit on the place, and then weld. When you're observing a new part and the car that you have to weld a new part on the car, you have to find some 0 points. This is, even if it is 0, it's not good enough. You can see how this line is not parallel with this, so don't consider that as something that you can start from. Even it's off the bottom of the car. You see this line here, and this line on the car, and also on the other side. This line and this line. Let's call that 0. In this case, it's not visible, so I will try to make that lines more visible before I start to do anything. And I'm going to use this file just to mark this line, so it will be more visible. And now we have something. And now we decide, look this now. Ta-da. Ta-da. Let's start from there. You see, this line, this line. Let's call that 0 line. Of course, you can do this. You can do the same thing with your arch, and then fit it on the place. Attach with the with this, with the pliers on the place. And then observe. Do not make a big pressure onto this, just approximately, so you can see what's going on. If it looks nice, will be good on the end. Let's cut something. Why I cut this panel? Because there is no space inside. If I go further, I wouldn't be able to put my cubes. It depends by the car. Not big deal if you know what are you doing. Obviously I don't. This is a slow process. You cannot simply weld because all this surface will be like an ocean, wavy. So do bit by bit, cool with the air, grain, knock it off. Go on the other side, take your time, will be grand. You'll see it on the end of the video how it's gonna look like. Thanks.